I am house sitting for a week at this beautiful little farm, and I just got here and then I had to do therapy, of course. So I am now sitting outside with the dog. I will be here for a week and I am very excited because prior to heading out here, I was feeling very overwhelmed by life, social media, opinions of people, everything. No YouTube, no social media, no nothing. Read some physical books and enjoy my time. That being said, I have been very, very obsessed with Vanderpump Rules, and I want to talk to you guys about it a little bit later on. But first, let's talk about what I plan to read and what I brought to read. So first up, we have Crooked Kingdom. This is a YA fantasy. It's the conclusion to the Six of Crows duology. I am buddy reading this, and the first one was just as good as I remember, and I'm excited to reread this one. I have yet to reread it since I read it in 2020, I think. Then we also have Yours Until Dawn. This is a historical romance that I have been wanting to read for a while. One of my friends really recommended it to me. She absolutely loved it, and so she thought that I would love it as well. So I picked it up, of course, and I have been avoiding it at all costs because that's what I do when I feel like something is going to be 5 stars. So I would like to start it at least this week. I'm excited to get to that. I will be doing lots of journaling, lots of reading. And I also brought a little book nook buildable thing that I got for the holidays for Christmas, and I'm gonna try to build. We'll see if it's actually relaxing in any way or if it's just a freaking nightmare to do, but we'll see. So I'm gonna get back to reading. It feels beautiful outside and the dogs are hanging out, chilling. So we're gonna read outside for a little bit.
Will the owner of a Toyota please...
Yeah, we're doing good. DJing at this bar tomorrow night called The Steady.
Where should we go?
It is my 5th day here and I only have a couple more days. Like I have one more full day and then a half day and then I'm going back home. And I haven't really talked to you guys like I had planned on it because I'm gonna be completely honest, this trip away, this week away or whatever has been a nightmare for me. I have made this trip, I've house sat for this family multiple times over the years. Something about this trip, I don't know whether it's happened every single time that I've done it and I just didn't have the words for it and now I do, or if it's just like this particular time, but I have been struggling with homesickness so bad. And I don't know if anybody that's not neurodivergent will relate to this, but it's just very overwhelming being in a new place. And so being in a new place, away from my family, away from my house, away from the things that make me feel safe is just very overwhelming. And there's just there's not a lot going on. Like I took the week off, I'm not at work and they don't have like a ton of animals. They do have 3 dogs, which is overwhelming. I love dogs, but I have found that I don't have peace around dogs. All very overwhelming, and it sucks to not be able to enjoy like a vacation. I recognize that like not a lot of people are fortunate enough to like be able to take a week off of work and like have a job that is cool enough with you and like money, you know, all of that. Obviously I'm very lucky to be able to take a week off of work, and so it sucks to like come and say that it hasn't been that good, but I've just been very homesick. Prior to this trip, I just had some like family things going on and I was working through them in therapy, and so I've just been not very emotionally stable recently. I'm realizing that I put a lot of my safety in my home and in my animals, and I realize that I use my animals a lot to be able to like emotionally regulate myself. Specifically my middle cat Bean, his name is Bane but I call him Bean. He's like my cuddle bug, he's my angel, he's like the being that reminds me that I exist. And so to be like struggling right now, not have that like safety net is very hard. I have been enjoying my time here. You know, my stepsister is here and we're like bonding and watching Love Island together and stuff like that. And so it's been nice to have her here on the vacation / house sitting, whatever, but it just hasn't been the easiest thing. To feel like you're not even normal enough to like have a vacation is just really hard. I'm sorry if you're watching this for like a relaxing time, but I think as a neurodivergent person, I want to show up authentically and like talk about these things, because I think it can be isolating to have struggles like this that don't feel like anybody would understand, or to feel like someone would look at this and be like, well, you have a week off, like what is there to worry about, what is there to be stressed about? And it's just like, things can be very overwhelming. The world can be very overwhelming. New settings, all of that can be very overwhelming. And so if you're not already at a place that's like you're neutral, where you're not using any spoons more than you need to for the day, if you're not already at that spot, then you're like at a detriment or whatever. So I've just been trying to keep myself regulated, keep myself calm, deal with the animals, get sleep when I can, enjoy time with my stepsister, and I've been watching so much reality TV. Let's talk about what I've been reading and watching, because those are the two things that I've been bouncing between. I was gonna make that bookshelf thing, but I think with how intricate it is, I'm just not like relaxed enough. And I think it would just like send me over the edge, because building stuff goes one of two ways for me. Usually I lose my mind trying to build if it fails. So I don't feel like that's the best place for me to be right now, or the best activity for me to be doing. So let's talk about what I've been reading. So I did end up finishing Yours Until Dawn. Like I said, this is a historical romance that I have been putting off because one of my good friends really loved it, and when she finished it, she was like, you have to read this, you're gonna love it so much. And so of course that got in my head, and I was convinced that it was gonna be a 5-star. I read this in like in a day, I think. I may have gone to bed and then picked it up the very next day. As you can tell by my dog ears, I don't know if the camera is gonna pick it up, but I absolutely freaking adored this so much. So this follows Gabriel, who is an earl. He was involved in a war with England and France, I believe. And in that war, he was injured and he lost his vision. He's kind of been a recluse. He's like sequestered himself away. And Samantha is a nurse who has been a nurse in the war, and she has like previous nursing experience, and she takes the job as Gabriel's nurse. And he's not really interested in being rehabilitated and anybody trying to fix him. He kind of just wants to have the best physicians in the world find the cure and then just like move on with his life. And he's not interested in learning how to live as he is and like have a fulfilling life as he is now. And so Samantha is set on getting him out of the house, opening up the blinds to see the sunlight, taking him on garden walks, and just like showing him the joys of life again. In between the chapters, we're getting splices of letters that Gabriel wrote to a woman that he used to be in love with, who was in a station above him, or was a station below him, and they had kind of a like forbidden relationship, a forbidden romance. And then when he was injured at war, she came to visit him in the hospital, and he thinks that she left him because of his scars and the way that he looks. I really loved this. Gabriel is my favorite kind of hero, which is like self-loathing and also a little bit obsessed. I adored watching Gabriel come into the sunlight. I loved watching him learn to enjoy life and enjoy the people that he has around him. His staff is very loving. They want to see him get better. They're so proud of their household and the work that they do, that they want like to have a healthy boss. And so they are supportive of Samantha, and they like do little things behind his back to like help her, help him. Just watching their romance blossom was very sweet. I did end up rating this a 4.5. I did round it up to a 5. The reason that this isn't a full 5 stars is because they have sex under false pretenses, which I don't love. I would have liked for that to have been different. So it wasn't the perfect book, but it was pretty damn close. And then the other thing that I have been reading is Crooked Kingdom. I am 172 pages into this. I have been kind of reading this here and there, like with ad breaks on Peacock, which we'll get to, but I really like this second book. I think that this is stronger than the first one in a lot of ways, but I have more like of an emotional connection to the first one for sure, which is crazy with what happens in this one. But I love the energy of the first one. You know, it just gives me like all of the like Peaky Blinders vibe. I would say the thing that is taking up the majority of my brain space is Vanderpump Rules and Love Island season 6. Watched Vanderpump Rules a while ago. I think it was the beginning of the end of last year, maybe like the middle of last year. I don't exactly remember, but with reality TV, I can only watch, I marathon like a lot of it, and then I have to stop because I start to feel like emotionally weighed down by the shows. And so I got into season 3 or 4. I think I wrapped up season 3, was going to season 4, and I had to stop watching. This was right around the time that DJ James Kennedy came in. And then my friend started watching the first season and she was talking about it, and it made me want to start rewatching it again, or start watching it again. So I started where I left off and I marathoned season 4, and I'm almost done with season 5, and it's been a freaking nightmare. James Kennedy, I think, is one of the worst people I have ever seen in my life. Like, you watch the first couple seasons and you think that it couldn't get any worse than Jax, and then you see James Kennedy and it's like, oh, it can get so much worse. Like, he's just intolerable. I was talking to my stepsister about reality shows that she's loved and watched, and she mentioned Love Island. I was like, oh, I've tried to watch the UK version. I tried to watch a couple seasons of the US version, but I couldn't really get into it. And so we started watching Temptation Island, which I had also started and not finished. And then we ended up stopping that because she didn't want to watch that. And so we started watching Love Island season 6 because she said it was really good. And it wasn't good in like the fact that the drama was very manufactured and like the people were just the worst. Like, it was a good balance. So we started it, and we have watched 23 episodes in 2 days. 2.5 days or something like that. And it's so good. It's like my entire brain space right now is Love Island. It's like I can't stop thinking about it. And the recoupling after Casa Amor just happened, and I'm like, I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much pain. My favorite couple is not in a good place right now, and I'm so sad about it. So that's really what I've been watching. And I'm actually waiting for her to get back from, she does like a women's like volleyball league or something, and so I'm waiting for her to get back so we can watch more, because I'm desperate, I'm jonesing. But while I wait, I'm going to read more of this. I was feeling very disconnected just with some things that were happening in my life, and I found myself gravitating towards like more intimate videos where you're following people's lives around, like, you know, vlogs and things like that. And so I wanted to film one myself, and so I hope that you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, you there alone. You're not even talking.
My last morning here.